a lose-lose game for him. Over to you, Joshua.
Dr. Augustin, if you do stay with us, we're going to move slightly away from US-Ukraine relations and now look within Ukraine as their President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has proposed a major political reshuffle. He's nominated First Deputy Prime Minister Yulia Svyrydenko to become the new Prime Minister. Svyrydenko, an economist with key experience in international negotiations, will focus on strengthening Ukraine's economy and boosting domestic arms production. Zelenskyy also suggested that current Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal take over as Defence Minister, citing his extensive qualifications. Shmyhal, who served as Prime Minister since 2020, will replace Rustem Umerov, who is expected to be appointed as Ukraine's ambassador to Washington. The reshuffle aims to concentrate resources on defence and post-war recovery. Svyrydenko has committed to reducing bureaucracy and protecting businesses with a focus on making Ukraine one of Europe's strongest economies. These changes are subject to parliamentary approval as Ukraine continues to navigate the ongoing war with Russia. Well, thank you for staying with us, Dr. Augustin. Of course, a big shift up here in the upper echelons of Ukrainian domestic politics, but with ramifications, of course, that could spill out into the war and then the wider geopolitics. What would the shift be for the current Prime Minister to Defence Minister? Given your background, how do you think that shift will take place, and how will that play out given the difference in the roles, and especially during a time of war?
It's a very difficult question to answer. See, how is it going to pan out will completely depend on how the reaction is going to be. Is it going to be, I mean, our country is going to pussyfoot, or our country is going to take a tough stance against, what popularly people use loosely the word called taco, Trump always chickens out and stuff like that. It completely depends how Trump is going to flip-flop or country is going to react, and whether it is going to be a strong reaction, whether it is going to be a pushback, or whether it is going to be a meek submission. And all three are, Joshua, are on the table right now. So it's very difficult to predict how is it going to pan out, Joshua.
Yes, and Dr. Augustin, just the one final question on this matter. I want to wrap up the longer extended discussion we've had on this Russia-Ukraine conflict. Of course, all of these discussions in the US, top political and sort of diplomatic reshuffle within Ukraine is all, of course, with an eye to an ongoing war. What do you think it's going to take for real peace to become a prospect? Is the move from Trump in the right direction, or does much more action need to be taken from Western allies of Ukraine to try and find further talks direct between Russia and Ukraine and then a potential ceasefire?
Great question, Joshua, and it's an answer which is for anyone very difficult to do. I'll tell you the reason. The territorial integrity of Ukraine is completely in disarray. Every single day, there's a large swath of land Russia is capturing, and it is slowly moving towards Kyiv. At the time of ceasefire, will Russia hand over the land that it captured? Is a very big question mark. My answer is no. What happens then are you going to redraw the map of Ukraine? Very big question mark. I do not think it will happen. What will happen then is those regions now will kind of become a disputed region where people will, live out under the political control of Russia, but in a nation state called Ukraine. It is going to be a very big turmoil situation for times to come if the peace treaty or peace agreement happens as is on the ground. That cannot happen, and Russia is not going to pull back to the territorial, I mean, to maintain the territorial integrity, or for the sake of viewers, the map of Ukraine. That is not going to happen. Then what are the provisions of peace is something that, everyone is grappling about every single day, even in United Nations, in NATO, and in European Union, with the spoke in the wheel being, which kind of constantly changes position, being Trump and Trump administration. So it is a very, very fluid, and if I may use the word messy situation when it comes to peace, bringing peace to Ukraine. Even if you want peace, can you have peace is a very big question mark. And how are other countries going to pitch in? Very big question mark. United Nations was formed to avoid such situations post Second World War. It completely and utterly failed to do so. It is, I mean, it's just toothless organization. So how are we going to tackle this situation? And if we are able to successfully tackle, then it may become a good playbook for tomorrow's wars. And I doubt it that it'll be a win-win for any side. It is going to be Russia and Russia's word and Russia's stake, with some amount of backing from Trump administration, because at the moment the needle of the Trump administration is tilting more towards Russia than towards NATO, Joshua.
Yes, Dr. MJ Augustin.